Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike coming at you with the weekly news and review for August 31st, the last day of the month, 2025, and we're going to try to make this news labor-free for the Labor Day. Remember, starting Tuesday, you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day. I don't know what that's all about, but let's take a look at some Transformer stuff, Masterpiece, very little Legends, some mainline Hasbro stuff, some Takara. Neca doing their Ben Cooper costume stuff. There's 3 more they're adding to this. Dungeons and Dragons. We'll talk a little bit about that. There is the... Usually don't talk about 12-inch because I don't condone the practice of collecting 12-inch in my collection. But She-Ra looks pretty good. Mondo. And then we've got reissues. So I have a few things to say about this. Reissuing as 2-packs and charging... It should be like a bundle cheaper set, but it doesn't seem to be that way. And then some Joe stuff is starting to show. Some Joe on sale, not these guys, some other ones on sale. One of those will be on sale pretty soon, eventually. Like a markdown. And then there actually is Star Wars stuff and a whole lot of other stuff that I'm not cramming in the intro. Coming up. Alright, what's new at Showzy Store? Well, we've got the Aldi, the S005 Action Elite Seeker set of 3 cone heads for $40. So these figures generally run around $10 each, a little bit more for the 3-pack per figure, but they still look pretty good. If you're into this smaller scale of, I don't know, 5-inch, 5.12 inch, this non-transforming, decent price. I think they're a little better than what we're going to talk about later on in here with the Yellow Part. In stock right now, shipping right now. I've got mine on the way. It's the Fans Hobby 112 VE03 Strike Vehicle, $130, and it's like $260 shipping. This is the AWE Striker, but they're calling it the ATAC, which is kind of funny because that's used in Cops and Crooks. It's also used somewhere else in Joe, I believe, but I know that it's used somewhere in the Cops Crooks line. This is going to be an interesting one. I've heard some issues with the Hasbro release, and I think the Hasbro one's sold out, but this is a good option. It's one more pricey and you don't get a figure than what's getting put out from Hasbro, but it still looks really good. I'm going to get both. And over at Gundam, I missed this. I lost my pre-order on it because I didn't see the email that it showed up, and I don't go to Gundam every day. But that is this Crocmaster, which is one of my top favorite figures for the vintage line. I liked Crocmaster. It was a really cool figure. And this one is the Exquisite Mini from Hiya Toys. $40, but you also get the Fiona. And it's a good looking Crocmaster. So I got this on the way now. Finally coming. And a lot of people do talk about price of the Hiya Toys. But if you're only getting one every few months, it's a lot easier to absorb than like a wave of 4 at a time. And so I'm okay with one every few months. Remember, both places, TH and the Support Your Favorite Reviewer box, helps channel out and usually save money. It's usually cheaper. You know, it's funny because there's a lot of oddball news this week and nothing really standing out as super amazing, but a lot of interesting stuff going on. And I will start with this one right here. So this is the Robot Toys, who's entering the Masterpiece realm with the RT-06 rocket. So there's no D in this, so I'm assuming this is in the Legends scale still. So we got Legends Transmetal. I don't know how kind of vac metalized, shiny it's going to look in the end. This is all we see so far, but I do think that it looks pretty good, pretty interesting, and I really am happy it's not going to be in the same... I believe it's not going to be going 1-to-1 against what Transart's already done. These companies should work around each other, not against each other, and get stuff out. But, you know, we know how competition works. But it looks pretty good. And surfboard monkey mode looks like that. I just say this looks a lot like what Transart already did. That's just the way it feels, except these should be Legend scale instead of this one, instead of being Masterpiece, but looks pretty cool. Now, Transart, which is Masterpiece, is the BWM09 Blade Leopard Shadow update from Weibo pictures, and this is the Transmetals 2, and that always kind of confused me. Like it's sort of a cross between Transmetal and sort of normal in a way, and it crossed back as in a freakish way. The story was it was just like too much raw energon or something like that did it to him. I remember the episode. Maybe I don't explain it as well as Ronox would, but there he is in his alt mode, and pretty cool. And I'm sort of on the fence on going in this deep on it. These are relatively deep cuts into the line, closer to the end of the line, but they've already done the Dinobot. The Dinobot came out way better than I expected. It was a really nice addition to the collection, and so this probably will too. So it's really hard to turn down any of these Transhard ones. Alright, so we got some MMC updates right here from, I believe this is directly from MMC. Ocular Max Perfection Series, all built in. Combiner Team, PS27 Deletus, and PS28 Demolitor. Not Demolitor. Anyway, this is the legs. Getting off on the right foot, or left, there is what it looks like so far. And I'm so far behind on what's out and not out on this. I thought they already completed it. They've shown so many pictures, so much of this, and I'm like, wow, they're not done, or have they even released one? Well, it looks good. It's a decent set. You really can't go wrong with it, other than it's only going to be 18 inches, and if the rest of your collection is 21, you might have a problem with height, and Devi's usually the biggest one. Alright, more pictures of X-Transbots MX45 Razor in hand, though, from a Weibo user, and it looks great. And yes, again, I'm not a fan of tread legs, but I was surprised how much I liked the last one that came out, and since so far the main ones are just going to be legs, arms, body parts, and so the toy versions are what I'm going to use for my actual bot modes, and this does look pretty good though. I mean, the tread legs are not as much of a turnoff as I thought they'd be. I like this shot. I think it's a shot at Hasbro, I believe. What's going on here, the whole goal is, it's like we're over here collecting the X-Transbots, and this is what Hasbro's doing. I guess, I can't translate. Maybe something's lost in translation, but I feel like it's a dig at the Hasbro Takara one. Here's the alt mode, and it looks pretty good. In fact, they've engineered a seat, and it looks like a little control station, and all the little parts and pieces you need. But yet, it looks super duper cartoon. So it's like it looks real world to a point, and it looks super cartoon to another. Best of both worlds, and it's an arm. So, oh wait, drum roll. Spoiler alert. It's an arm, and then. Out of all of it, though, I think that it's really important that every set can do this. They all have to look good as a cohesive team. And they do. They look pretty good. I'm thinking somebody like did a wash on these. Or maybe this is just digital overlay. I don't know. It does look like it's got some dirty wash on it, but cool looking pictures for the team here. So that was X-Transbots. We started with MNC, looked at X-Transbots. This now is the Dreamstar toys. I don't talk much about this one. I'm not getting the set, and I heard there were some challenges with the Superion, but I didn't pay enough attention to find out what they were because I wasn't buying it. But still, I think this looks interesting. It does look different. They want to stand out. If 5 different companies are making Devastators, then you need to have some of them look a little bit different. And they do. They look tough. They look mean. And each mode looks good. And one thing I don't see here, which I don't think any of these characters are it yet, but there's no tread legs yet in this. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think these guys are going to bother with tread legs on any of them. But yeah, they do look better. They look like good looking bots, but they're not G1. They're stylized. So there's that give and take if you want to go with Dreamstar Toys. QC Toys is showing upgrade kit for their Abominus that's coming out. Is it Satan? And the thing is that it's just very little. It doesn't do a whole lot. Like, in my opinion, it's not that big of a deal, but you've waited 9 years or something, so might as well get a bone thrown your way. I believe it's just a bonus parts being thrown in, and yeah. But the caveat here is let's say you're liking what's going on and you didn't get the rest of the members. Reissues for other Satan Combiner members coming soon. So if you're in on this, and I'm pretty sure there's other upgrade kits made to make it accommodate 21-inch scale. Possibly, we'll see about that. But anyhow, that's an option, and that could be coming. It would be really a funny twist if this one sold out, and then all we had were the other members, the other 4 members, in like a year. I mean, that's kind of my prediction, by the way. All right, now all you people complaining about me talking about G1 all the time, now you got some Beast Wars in the beginning, you got a movie Jazz from 3.0 Deluxe Collectibles, 7.5-inch tall Jazz. So there you go, it's a movie one. It's I'm not sure which movie it's from. Does it say on here? But you can tell it's a live action movie version of Jazz, and it looks alright. Is it from the Bumblebee era? Not sure, but I think it looks pretty good. Alright, raise your hand if you think we can make it through a news segment without talking about Fans Toys. Well, our Repro Arcade Road King removal kit for Fans Toys FD31 Marauder. What they're saying is this is basically just a kit for you to plug in and keep it up. Now this is in pounds, so I'm sure it's going to be international shipping too. $61, but more or less the kits begin. I'm going to wait for a full kit for like $61. It's probably around $117 for an entire kit, and get arms and legs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm waiting for that. But when that does show up, that's what I'm going to go for. But this is still nice to see it on the way, and this is very necessary, and I believe it should accommodate, it's just a belief though, the other piece that goes over it for more of the toy look. So I'm hoping or expecting that that's how that works, but I'm not in on this. This is something you'd have to go to reproarcade.co.uk to find it. But yeah, it works, gets the job done. The 3D kits of this have, and it works. That's all I gotta say. If it works, it works. Alright, now there is a QQT kit, studio kit for Studio Devastator 86, and this is at Tiny URL. Anyway, it gets full accessory kit, lower knee set, no forearm or drill version, forearm accessories, drill, rifle grip, rear armor, whatever all that stands for, meaning I'm not going to break it all down. I'm probably not going to get a kit for the mainline one, and with all the Masterpiece Devies, I wonder why I even am in. I'm only 2 members away from completing the mainline one, but definitely want to get one for my son. So that's my goal. So he has one. Anyhow, this is the differences, the upgrades and stuff, and there's a whole lot more. Again, I'm not digging too deep into it, but if you spot issues with yours once you combine it, you might want to get this kit because it looks like it's got a lot to it, fills in gaps and stuff. So that'd be good. Okay, so we got a picture of the Aldi Alpha Action Elite Chase Toy Deco via Bugsty 81 of TFW 2005, Steven TCG. This is showing some Chase variants plus the painted Prime and the difference if you're going with the painted Prime versus unpainted Prime. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't really feel like I'm missing out much with the Megatron. The Prime's almost tempting though, and that's how it usually goes. But I mean, they all look good. I just don't like the head. I'd love that Megatron with a different head. So that's the way that is. But anyhow, that was the variant, the Toy Chase variant. And then, of course, you have to pay more for the Prime. All right, so YOLO Park is rolling this out. And I'm actually tempted because I feel like they're upping their game a little bit. Now, I do feel like they're reusing the Bumblebee mold. But I would really want to do a side-by-side with the RC. I'm looking at Aldi's right now with some of the similar characters, and I still feel like Aldi's got a better version of RC. They've got a better scaled Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper with theirs, but there are some things in this that the Hound looks really good here, and I don't think a Prowl's been done yet, but I think the Jazz for Aldi is probably better. But just would be fun at this low price point of 65 bucks for 6. That's something that'd be fun. Now I do want to point out there's 2 Chase figures in here with that Dark Rodimus and I believe Silver Streak, Blue Streak are the 2 Chases. Probably won't get those ordering them for Show Z. I just don't believe that's going to be a Chase. I think you're just getting the standard 6. But maybe you do. Maybe you will. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. And at the same time, if you're wanting the standard 6, not the Chase figures, then you'd be disappointed. So that's how that is. Anyway, and these are not really intended for U.S. release. So getting your hands on them, it's not as easy. But anyhow, YOLO Park trying to up their game with AMK Minis because of Aldi. Is your Optimus Prime just too big? Do you feel like it's too easy to handle and manipulate? Do you want a Micromaster scale Geo and Optimus Prime with a new paint variant? Well, Dr. Wu's got you covered with the DW-EO4M, the Prime Commander, and this thing is 6 centimeters tall. It's sub Legends, just that scale they like to operate in. And any excuse to make another Prime, they will take it. I guess another selling point is, do you want to make your Metroplex look really big? Put this on it, and it'll make whatever Metroplex, even the G1, look pretty big. Are you tired of your Optimus Prime with a traditional color scheme? Well, guess what? Dr. Wu's got you covered. I really don't know what this Extreme Warfare DWEO4 Prime Commander mix and match parts bump of chicken style from Shinto Toy Box on Weibo, which the other pictures were from Shinto Toy Box also, give the credit where it's due. But Bump of Chicken, this is kind of how the color stuff from that, I believe it's a rock group over there or something like that. Collaboration. Then again, I might be completely wrong on that. Here it is. It feels like a Junkion version of Prime. This one here. But remember, it's tiny. Make sure Next Supreme. No, your Metroplex. Make your Metroplex look big. Everybody with the W Resources Metroplex says, mine looks big enough. So we had an event, Tokyo Toy Show 2025, Missing Link, Ultra Magnus, Nemesis Prime, MPG, Wild King, and more, all on display. So I want to point out a few things. Upper left, you've got what they're touting as the version 4 Masterpiece Prime. Then below that is the Nemesis Missing Link, which I will definitely have to get that. I'm going to have to get that. I'm fighting it. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, believe it or not. I'm actually catching up. I'm almost caught up on all my pre-orders from Show Z, and then I just got to do all the reviews, so that's going to be fun too. Then I found out that, who was it? Yeah, it was TJ Omega who said that little car with the Ultra Magnus was originally planned as for a Diaclone release, or was with a Diaclone release, and it was left out for the US release, something along those lines. So I never heard of that. So that's learning something new every day, and that will be cool when they do originally or eventually put that out in Diaclone colors, which they're going to have to get as much reuse out of this mold as they can. But Missing Link, Ultra Magnus looking pretty cool. And then we got the Devastator. We've got the up top, Takara's still doing stuff with the Rat Trap, so there's still some stuff going on. And they did some pretty good setups, displays with the Wild King Dragnus. So interesting stuff they have going on there. But with that, not everything Takara is doing appeals to me, or what Hasbro's doing appeals to me, and it doesn't have to. It's kind of cool for people from other eras getting some stuff, or stuff outside of G1, which is cool. It's good, and it saves me in my pocketbook. And we got I thought this was a Weibo one picture, but this one picture I want to showcase so you see the color variations from the Dramatic Capture series to the Origins ones. The Bumblebee's a lot oranger, and actually I think it's closer to what I would want for the color scheme. And with that, aside from that, it does look pretty good. And then it's interesting too because they're putting the Bumblebee back out. And I always thought it was funny because putting Bumblebee back out, but they were on clearance for $7 for like a month at Targets, and then they put it back out at full price in a different packaging. But still, it's cool they did this. I'm glad they did this. I like that they've done this with these figures, and it's a cool idea and a cool set. Glad we all have it now, right? If you're after it. One of the other things that they had leaked about the Dramatic Capture series was this one here for the Decepticons Part 2, Skywarp and Insecticons, and it looks good. They look like they might have a little battle damage on them or something. So I take this as trying to get as much use out of the old Seeker mold before the new Seeker mold comes. And yeah, there it is. But they look good. They look pretty good. I like the clear chest too. I gotta go check and see. I can't remember if the original Insecticons that were made most recently by Hasbro had clear chest pieces or not. But I like that. That's cool. I don't really talk about Funko Pops or Pops games is what they call it so much, but Magic the Gathering crossover with Transformers, Funko Pop Optimus Prime and its game, I guess. So I'm hearing like the bottom absolutely falling out of Funko, and I've actually talked to store owners that say they won't take Pops at all, even the ones they know are rare and valuable, that they won't even take those in anymore. It's interesting. It's interesting, the Pops craze crashing in real time. And it's also funny because they were like $8 items. Now they're not. They're, to get something Funko Pop, it's pretty expensive. So anyhow, this is just an interesting, weird, crazy crossover that I don't really get. eHobby exclusive Transformers G2 and Beast Wars acrylic insignias and SD acrylic stands. So yeah, that's that. It's interesting. It does look a lot like Super Deformed look to it, if you like that look. But I like the colors. I like kind of the inspiration behind all of this. So it is interesting. Not a huge fan of the Super Deformed, which it's the chibi sort of chibi style. But yeah, there it is. If you're interested in this stuff, then this is eHobby exclusive stuff. Then there's some food crossovers that you get at the what was it? The Dollar Tree. Okay, the $1.50, $3 tree. I mean, this stuff is not $1 anymore. But Fruit Friends Organic Cinnamon Apple, and then the Chocolate Crunch cereal. Let me tell you, neither one of these are going to be healthy. They try to make it look healthy. It's not healthy. Anyhow, crossover. So they're selling this stuff by putting Transformers on the package. And remember back in the day, like every franchise seemed to have its own cereal, and it would have a branding for food and towels and all kinds of stuff, clothing, shoes, towels, all that crossover. Nowadays it's like a big deal, spotted in the wild, and just in the 80s it was everywhere. Cross branding like crazy in the 80s. Now, I gotta say, this is a big hitter to be going to TFCon. Bob Budiansky, the creator of Transformers Generation 1. And I'm just curious, will he have a speaking or Q&A session? Will somebody be live streaming that, or at least videotape it? That'll be an interesting series of questions for Bob Budiansky. And I'm not gonna be there. TFCon Chicago, I'm nowhere near Chicago, so... But that looks like it'd be a whole lot of fun, and that would definitely be fun to hear a Q&A with him. All right, no more boring people with Transformers talk. Let's talk about Voltron. Actually, I do want to talk a lot about Voltron, but the stuff's not all quite here yet. There's quite a bit of Voltron stuff that should be coming in, and I'm curious why it's not yet. But one day I'll talk more about what Voltron stuff should be coming. BBTS pre-order alert for Super 7 Voltron, Super Cyborg Voltron. I think they've already made this, but now this one looks a little bit different and clear and all of that. If that's something that you are interested in, then check it out. Voltron collectors kind of do get a shaft. They get the shaft. They don't get full-size Robeasts. They don't. And Voltron collectors very seldom get the actual action figures. You just get a different version of Voltron, and that's about what they get. because that's what sells the best. But still, you very seldom get Voltron stuff. All right, McFarlane, for $100, you can go get this pre-order, this Batmobile. They call it the DC Rebirth vehicle. Ships in November, $100, or you can make 4 payments, $25, if that's the thing you want to do. And the vehicle itself for $100 does not come with a figure. You have to buy that separate. And I think the figure's sold out. Anyway, I'm not in on this, but figure if you want it, don't miss out. Speaking of missing out, if you weren't sitting in front of your computer at 11 a.m. Central Time last Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it was, then you didn't miss out on anything, because this is probably going to still be here in November. And it looks amazing. It's a great looking figure, but it's still in stock, and the past 7 exclusives are all in stock. I'm waiting for a nice big 30% sale. Give me 1 of each. And things that I really like, maybe 2 of it. But I've learned my lesson. I got burned buying 3 of something, and then when it went on sale, I couldn't even buy another. I hit my max. I don't want to harsh your mellow or anything, but when you buy 3 Horde Troopers and you want to get a couple more because they're like $16 instead of $35 or whatever price they were, then they don't even allow you to. You'd have to create another account, and I don't want to do all that. So I just do without. And I know other people are feeling the same way. Okay, so this is a set of 3. Ben Cooper Costume Collection Wave 10 set of 3 clothed action figures based on Dungeons and Dragons. And so they have Warduke, Zarak, and Strongheart. I almost called him Strong Sword. I actually was messing with the figure the other day. But yeah, they look cool. That's what my Halloweens looked like. I like to block these out. I did not like this style of costume when I was a kid, and I like to block that out as like, I don't want to remember that. But other people loved it. They love this, and if you do, get it. $73 for 3. Bride of Frankenstein 2-pack, and it appears you can get it at the Neca store. The thing is, they've released all these before, and I think you get maybe some different accessories. I'm not sure, in its own different style of packaging, but it's $60, which actually is cheaper than buying 2 $35 figures, so you get it a little bit better. But if you have to order through them, you have to pay their shipping and tax and all that fun stuff, unfun stuff. But anyhow, it's celebrating 90 years of Universal Monsters, and if you're interested in this, get it. Most likely everyone interested in this already has these figures. Let's get back to business with Street Fighter Ultra 2, Jada Toys, Cammy Player 2. This is what they do. They repaint them in Player 2, and I bet this one now costs $30. I bet you it costs $30 instead. You can get it at Entertainment Earth, probably BBTS and other places too. $33 for a pre-order at Entertainment Earth right now if you're interested in this figure. And Storm Marina Nash figure should be up for pre-order right now, $30 at BBTS. I'm not familiar with the character, but it looks like he's got similar moves to Guile. And is he Guile in a way? I don't know. Thought they changed Guile's name to Charlie in Alpha 3. So this one here, I did play Alpha 3 on Game Boy Advance, I believe. But anyhow, if you're interested in this, it's Storm Collectibles. They do a great job. Alright, maggots, if you want to get a sale on a recolor of Sergeant Slaughter down to them just even repacking the little minifigure that comes with them, you know, hey, this past week I did take a small, brief glimpse at the Mad Hatter Flipboard figure. Flipboard comes with little mini Flipboards the same way as this, but Sergeant Slaughter's got his itty bitty ditty bag on sale, $23 at Amazon. If you're interested in that, go get them. That's a third off. Now, also at Amazon, they have in stock these guys right here. Now, I don't think that Major Blood is going to be hard to get at all. I think that so many people have already got... This is not different, much different than what we already got from Target back in the day in Cobra Island. But the version for Snake Eyes I don't think is highly sought after and popular, but I do think the Cobra Commander is going to be a tough one. So the Cobra Commander will be sold out before the other two is my prediction on this. I just got them pre-ordered through BBTS. I don't need another Major Blood, but I do have the Cobra Commander, and I'm just going to roll the dice on the Snake Eyes. But I'm just going to wait. I'm not in any hurry. But if you're in a hurry, you can go to Amazon and get them. Not exactly sure I got She-Ra out of place, but Mondo has She-Ra and should be up for pre-order, I believe, right now. It looks good. It looks good. It's the 12-inch. She's a big figure, and she comes with all that. I guess swap out her hair if you want. I guess that's what's going on. But yeah, they always look amazing. The Mondo stuff always looks great. Now, if I was in this just for money, buy these and flip them. But I don't buy these. I don't collect the 12-inch stuff. But these always appreciate in value and all that kind of stuff. But I don't really look at buying this stuff for investment. I collect it because I like it. And if it does happen to go up and I sell it, whoop-de-doo. But these are hard to get. They usually sell out. And they usually get expensive down the road. Alright, what a way to kick off the Target Fall Geek Out Collector Event Week 1 with a Gremlins Gizmo Lego. So, I know Lego's huge. People love it. And they like making different stuff. And this might be something they want to make. So, pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Not for me. So, I'm just wondering what else is going to be with this Target Fall Geek Out. Usually it's very Neca TMNT heavy. I haven't heard anything yet. Alright, for Star Wars news, we've got some additional Black Series holiday images for the holiday edition figures, which you get an R2-D2 looking one, and you also get a Stormtrooper looking one, and there you go. Exciting. You know, I only buy this stuff on sale. If I find any of these Christmas ones on sale, I get them. If I don't get them. But I still think it's interesting. Like, what more can you do with I don't want to say a dying brand or a dying franchise. More of a 30-year exhausted franchise. Because Star Wars has been back on shelves straight for 30 years with no gap. And I think collectors like myself are a little exhausted. Star Wars Black Series stuff hitting the shelves. The Anakin seemed to sell out pretty fast, and then I think Obi-Wan started to sell out. But really, the only new character in here is the Stranger from Acolyte. That one, oddly enough, all the other ones have been put out before, I believe. And with all of that, the Acolyte one is probably the one that won't sell as well as the rest of them that have been put out several times before. The Sand Trooper is one of the earliest Black Series figures, which is so crazy. Probably got a new body or something, but it's hit retail. So Pipeline reveals in the past, they just basically tell you the name, show you a picture or something of the character. Now we're seeing for Padme and Shakti, we're seeing the Vintage Collection card backs revealed. Now, the interesting part about this is that these will be probably $17 at the Walmart, and I'll grab them if they hit the Ross or Ollie's. Alright, so we've got sort of an update to the Haslab Vintage Collection gunship, the Laddie. You get alternate deco sheets. Okay, this project feels dead in the water, and that's how most Haslabs are. But usually with Star Wars or G.I. Joe, they've already funded, and now they just slowed. This is nowhere near funding, but almost around halfway there or something like that. I think it'll still fund. I think we live in an era where FOMO's got too many collectors by the cojones, so it's going to fund, and sorry, you're not going to get a drop ship or gunship at a reasonable price in the future ever again. And this is back up for order and then back sold out at the Shop Disney. Let me tell you how I see this going forward. Sold out doesn't mean sold out. It means waiting for a restock. When it comes to Shop Disney, the Disney shop on something like this. And it was exclusive, like that ride thing that they make. Those sell out. They stay sold out. This comes back in and then sells out. The Sandcrawler was sold out like 15 times. Back up, back out. Back up, back out. I see this as a smaller, easy, more units can be made very easily. I see this as something that they would get back in a couple more times. So just check Shop Disney if you want the Disney shop, the Disney store, if you want this. I like it. I think it's cool, but I'm not going to jump through any hoops. And anytime I see I just don't want to directly give my money to Disney. It just hurts. I'm going to leave you with these Jizzy toys. Get Jizzy with it here. And the actual figures. But let me know what you guys think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I missed? What cool stuff is going on? Because I want to stay in the know. I hope I help you stay in the know. Like and subscribe to Damn Hanger out.